Look at a map of the United States. Michigan stands out, split in two. The Lower Peninsula is a mitten. The Upper Peninsula, or UP, is a wild land connected to Wisconsin, not the rest of Michigan. Why does Michigan own this remote territory? The answer is a tale of political squabbles and a compromise that changed history. In the early 1800s, Michigan and Ohio both claimed the Toledo Strip, a valuable area with access to Lake Erie. A new survey showed Toledo was in Michigan's territory, but Ohio refused to give it up. The stage was set for confrontation, and the fate of the Upper Peninsula would soon be decided. What began as a border dispute would forever reshape Michigan. By the 1830s, Michigan was ready for statehood, but Ohio stood in the way. The Toledo Strip dispute intensified, with Ohio leveraging its political clout in Congress. Michigan insisted on the federal Northwest Ordinance, while Ohio angled its border to claim Toledo. Michigan's boy governor, Stevens T. Mason, refused to compromise, rallying his people. Ohio's governor, Robert Lucas, was equally determined. Both sides mobilized militias and passed laws to block each other's authority. The dispute was no longer just about land. It was about the future of both states. The answer would come soon, in a most unexpected way. In 1835, the Toledo War erupted, more standoff than battle, but the threat of violence was real. Michigan's militia and Ohio's forces faced off at the border, both unwilling to back down. Newspapers reported the bizarre spectacle, two American states nearly at war over a narrow strip of land. The war consisted mostly of posturing and minor skirmishes, shots fired in the air, a few arrests, and one minor injury. President Andrew Jackson intervened, desperate to prevent bloodshed between states. He sent commissioners to broker peace, proposing a new survey and shared governance of the disputed area. Ohio agreed, but Michigan's Governor Mason refused any compromise, seeing it as surrender. Jackson grew frustrated. Michigan's stubbornness blocked its own statehood. Financially drained and politically isolated, Michigan faced a hard choice: keep fighting for Toledo or accept a deal for statehood. Congress, influenced by Ohio, refused to admit Michigan until the dispute was settled. The people of Michigan were weary, their resources depleted. The dream of statehood seemed out of reach. Was the Toledo Strip worth sacrificing everything? The answer would change Michigan's destiny. A compromise was inevitable. With statehood blocked, President Jackson and Congress offered Michigan a deal: give up the Toledo Strip and gain the entire Upper Peninsula. At the time, Michiganders were outraged. They saw Toledo as valuable, the UP as worthless wilderness. A convention in Ann Arbor rejected the proposal, refusing to trade fertile land for a frozen, remote region. But financial hardship and federal pressure mounted. A second, frost-bitten convention was held in December 1836. This time, delegates reluctantly accepted the deal, trading Toledo for the Upper Peninsula. Congress quickly approved Michigan's statehood. On January 26, 1837, Michigan became the 26th state. The people felt cheated, believing they'd lost a war and been compensated with empty land. Little did they know, the UP held secrets that would transform their fortunes. The worthless wilderness was about to reveal its true value. Michigan's greatest windfall was hidden beneath the forests and rocks. Sometimes the best deals are the ones you never wanted. The Upper Peninsula was about to change everything. Michigan's gamble would pay off in ways no one imagined. For a few years, the Upper Peninsula seemed like a poor consolation prize, but in the 1840s, state geologist Douglas Houghton's survey changed everything. He confirmed vast deposits of pure copper, chunks weighing tons, just lying on the surface. A copper rush began, predating even the California gold rush. Boomtowns sprang up, and the UP became a global copper powerhouse. The wealth funded Michigan cities and industries, turning the wasteland into a treasure chest. Then, in 1844, surveyors discovered the Marquette Iron Range, nearly pure iron ore beneath their feet. The UP became America's leading iron supplier, fueling the nation's railroads, skyscrapers, and the Industrial Revolution. The Sulaks, built in 1855, allowed ore ships to bypass rapids, making Michigan a vital industrial artery. The state had traded a small port for control over the raw materials that built a nation. The UP's mineral wealth shaped Michigan's destiny. What was once seen as a loss became the foundation of prosperity. The Upper Peninsula's riches were Michigan's true prize. Sometimes, fortune hides in the most unlikely places. Michigan's bad deal became one of America's greatest windfalls. The mineral boom brought waves of immigrants, Cornish miners, Finns, Swedes, Italians, creating a unique cultural melting pot in the UP. Life was tough, brutal winters, dangerous mines, and isolation forged a resilient, independent spirit. Communities relied on each other, developing traditions like the pasty and a distinct dialect. The people became known as yoopers, proud of their identity and heritage. For decades, the UP was physically disconnected from the Lower Peninsula. Travel meant a treacherous ferry ride across the Straits of Mackinac. This isolation deepened the cultural divide. Yoopers jokingly called those in the South trolls, people who lived under the bridge. In 1957, the Mackinac Bridge finally united the peninsulas, making travel easier but not erasing the UP's unique culture. The bridge connected the land, but Yooper identity remains strong. The UP is still a world apart, rugged, proud, and distinct. Its culture is a testament to endurance and community. The legacy of isolation is a source of pride, not regret. The UP remains Michigan's wild, independent heart. The bridge may have closed the distance, but the Yooper spirit endures. Michigan is one state, but its two halves tell a story of resilience and identity. The UP is more than land, it's a way of life. Today, the Upper Peninsula is central to Michigan's identity and economy. The mining boom is over, but its legacy lives on in historic towns and stories. Tourism now thrives. People flock to the UP's forests, lakes, and rugged shores. It's a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts with world-class hiking, fishing, and winter sports. Once dismissed as barren, the UP is now cherished for its wild beauty. Parks like Pictured Rocks and Isle Royale protect its natural wonders for future generations. The UP's resources are now valued for sustainability and pride, not just extraction. Michigan's history is defined by the unexpected gift of the Upper Peninsula. The loss of Toledo, once a bitter blow, became a blessing in disguise. The UP built Michigan's cities, industries, and universities. The state's two peninsulas are united by a bridge, but their differences add richness to Michigan's character. The Yooper-Troll divide is a friendly rivalry, part of what makes Michigan unique. The Upper Peninsula is more than land, it's Michigan's soul. The Toledo War's legacy is a reminder. Sometimes, the greatest treasures are found where you least expect them. Michigan's story is proof that history's twists can lead to unimaginable fortune.